Alright, today's Uncut episode that is also being used on the main channel. We're doing a more realistic flight time test. I've done a test for max longevity on my 16 Viper XC, flying straight and level, super conservative the entire time. And then I also did a let's see how quickly we can kill it on the 14 pre-ride. If you missed those, it was 44 minutes and 18 minutes. And so today, I'm flying the 16 free-ride 1, the OG, my favorite wing ever. And this is going to be like a realistic for myself. Obviously different pilots, different weights, different wings are all going to be different. Let's go. Nicely done, good sir. Yeah, everyone's experience is going to vary. This is just me and my experience. But I'm just going to fly around like I normally would. I'm not going to think about conserving battery. I'm not going to think about killing it. But we're at 99%. Let's go ahead and arm. She is active. And I'll just fly around and do some stuff. Leg straps are on. Engine is not warmed up, not idling, but let's go fly. Twitchy McGee. Still a little weird on the launch. It's the throttle geometry is a little bit different, so I'm not used to it. And then also the fact that it's like very sensitive in sport mode. Hi, Paramotor friend. Hi, other Paramotor friend. Alrighty. We are 1 minute in. Everything's working as expected. I was looking at this field from the ground, and it's just crazy how perfectly straight these lines are. I assume they got some wild technology on the tractors. I think they have GPS in some of them. There's no way some dude's just freehanding these straight lines that nicely. I'm gonna go to the canal, which is right over here. I'm gonna do some foot drags. Do a little full throttle burst. She's got some power to her, that's for sure. This canal is like perfect for foot drags. It's so mirror-like. If I look down, maybe you can see the water. It's actually really deep in the center, and someone told me that it has claimed, I was going to say claimed the lives. It definitely hasn't killed anyone that I know of, but it's claimed several foot launch and several trike Paramotor pilots. So at this point in the flight, maybe I'm feeling a little spicier. I want to do some little slalomies. Did my hand just, I swear it felt like I got shocked in my hand, but sometimes I have weird like nerve twitches. Maybe I should get it checked out, but dude, it felt like I got shocked in my hand. I don't think that's a thing though. Woo! Water foot drag. It is a little twitchy while doing a water foot drag, or a foot drag in general. Like, there's a learning curve to this fast throttle response. Is this Mr. Brett? I think it is. He said he might have a camera on board. So like he's holding something in his hand. He's fast on that thing. Charger, I think it is, must be kind of heavily loaded with the Truckmobile. Okay, 3 minutes. We're saying 90% at cruise throttle. Let's climb, get a little altitude. Maybe I'm feeling some lackadaisical wingovers. That's a full power climb. That is, when the battery's fresh, full power climb is definitely respectable on this thing. I feel like it's probably similar to my factory R with the 140 in terms of top end power, which is respectable for sure, for sure. But I was gonna say, full throttle climb like that, the torque compensation isn't the best. It's definitely less than the Maverick. Like you feel yourself twist a little bit, and it wants to pull to the right. The silly sounds of electric. It's such an aggressive maneuver. It's like, whee! I got a very late start on this flight because I've been waiting on my T-shirt designs. This is the first time I've done a giveaway where I'm not in New Jersey. So my T-shirt printer is my good buddy Tyler that I've known since like high school. And he lived like 50, or his shop was like 15 minutes away from me when I was in Jersey. So I could just go and I'd always help him with the prints, like making sure everything's exactly dialed how we want it. And I could see the colors, and then I would have the physical copy. But this time, I let Tyler do his thing, and he shipped me overnighted the package, and it just came in today of the new T-shirt designs. And that's been the last element that I've been waiting on to finish the first video, the unboxing. So I just did all my little shots with the new shirts, as I do, to show them. And then I also did more cinematic shots of this motor because I was kind of lacking like the nice close-ups for my voice overlay segment of the video, and I filmed like a little intro part. So long story short, we took off like right before sunset, and I had my strobe on, so we're Gucci. It's not really much interesting over here. There's a lot of power lines. There's a train over there. That doesn't look that interesting. It's just parked. That's kind of interesting. An old barn with graffiti. I'm venturing away from the LZ. That's okay, because I'm running pretty efficient today. I'm not trying to kill the battery or anything, but I shouldn't have much battery anxiety. Yeah, there's a shitload of power lines over here. No me gusta. I did leave all the straps, like from this harness. They're kind of long, and I left the pigtails all over, and they do be slapping around back there. I can feel little flutters. I want to cross over these high tension lines, and we'll go look at those grassy crop fields. But I want to clear it with a little more altitude. Electricity! I guess in the last duration test, I filmed specific narration to use in the main channel content, so I guess I should do some of that. So currently we are doing a more realistic everyday flight test. I'm flying the Freeride 16 OG, my favorite glider ever. And let's see, we are 8 minutes and 30 seconds into the flight, and I'm at 75% cruise at my cruise throttle, so not too bad so far. I'm expecting this duration test to last about 30 minutes, but we'll see. I do know that the throttle response and max power kind of degrades over time towards the end of the battery. You don't really get to climb. So I think this being a realistic test, I'm not going to kill the actual battery. I'm going to land while I still have sufficient power, because that's a safe, wise thing to do. Okay, that's a little narration. Maybe I'll use it, maybe I won't. Who knows? I don't know the power line situation over here, so I gotta be on my toes. There's power lines like all over. But this is kind of cool. A little crop field. I don't know what this is. I want to look at these barns. It's nothing too exciting. It's just a cover for hay bales. They gotta put the hay bales out. I wonder. This doesn't look like hay fields. This is definitely some other type of crop, but we need hay bales to do the hay bale slalom. That was like a OG New Jersey adventure way back on the original McDonald's run when the hay bale slalom was invented. So far, I'm just gonna blab because I'm just doing a battery test and this is just for the Uncut channel. But so far, I don't miss New Jersey per se. There's moments where I'm like, damn, like I'm not gonna be a hawk or something. I'm like, damn, I won't walk down Frenchtown and grab a coffee at Early Bird Coffee Shop like I always used to do. Like that's not gonna be a part of my life anytime soon. Or I'm not going to be flying around and see my good buddies in the hot air balloons that I've seen for years. Like, it's weird to have those little realizations that I'm really out here committed, but it's not like I regret it. I don't miss it or think about it often. Been good. I will say the only thing, like, it gets a little lonely at times out here. Like, I have my paramotor friends and I have my base jumping friends, but I really only see them when I'm doing these activities. So when there's like bad weather, like the past I don't know, 5 days or so. Oh, careful there. The last 5 days or so we've had pretty trash weather. It's been like rainy and windy. So I get kind of cooped up in the house because I don't really have any friends outside of the activities I do. I don't know. Whiskey throttle it, but pull in my left trimmer a little bit. I do goose this thing. Even when I'm trying not to. Yeah, it gets a little lonely, I will say that. Would be nice to have a partner in crime, but one day. It's funny, literally anytime I post on Instagram, me with a female of any sort, people are like, oh my god, congratulations on the new girlfriend or whatever, and I'm like, this is just my friend. Like, everyone automatically assumes I'm dating someone, but I'm definitely not. This realistic test is definitely a little more mellow than I normally fly, I would say. Normally I got my rap music on, but because I'm narrating, I got no rap music on. But we're climbing, we're descending, we're hop skipping through fields. I'm probably going to be the last guy up in the air. I think that's Brett. I else, but I got my strobe on, so that's okay. Now we're showing 54% in like a cruise. Interesting thing, what's his face? I'm sorry, that was rude. His name is Paul. I was trying to think of his name offhand. Paul is the guy who runs OpenPPG. As far as I know, he's like the only guy. But he saw some of my duration tests, and he was telling me how if you hold cruise and you look at the kilowatts here, I'm noting that on this glider, I was at like 6.7, I would say, kilowatts for a cruise throttle setting. You can do the math based off of that number, and that'll tell you basically if I cruise the entire flight, you can do the math and it'll tell you when, at what time the battery will die, without actually flying the whole battery. But he was telling me about like different gliders he tested, and like free flight gliders, like paragliding wings. I think he was saying he was getting down to like 3 point something kilowatts for cruise, and it's basically, it's an interesting thing because you can't do that on a gas motor, but looking at that kilowatt number, it basically tells you like the relative efficiency of whatever wing you're flying. So he was saying you could have 5 different gliders out on the field and go fly like a lap around the pattern for each wing, and very quickly have like, this glider pulls this many kilowatts in cruise. And now that I'm actually cruising on the ground, let's see. Oh dang, that's actually much lower than, I was definitely climbing up there. That's 5.6 for a cruise on the Freeride 16. Now I can go back and look at my other wings that I've flown and look at the GoPro footage and observe that number and in a cruise setting and kind of tell the efficiency of each, which is kind of neat. It looks like Chance is setting up another tandem. I think he had 2 tandem people he was flying, and he flew the one. He's either done with the second or he's setting up for the second. Come hang out with me. I don't want to be the only one, aside from Brett, flying after sunset, which is completely legal because I have my strobe. I do want to try a tandem with this electric motor though. I don't think it'll last very long because my Triox, while flying tandem, it's a slightly power-hungry wing. I know this thing has the power to do a tandem, obviously. Like, motor power isn't really a big factor with tandems. It's more of your glider size. But it is a slightly more power-hungry wing, so I think that it will eat through the battery kind of quickly. Like I said, I want to land, because this is the reasonable test, I want to land with some like reserve in the tank. Because really, when you're flying a gas motor, you never run it out of gas like I've been doing for these extreme tests. With this being the realistic test, I want to land with a little bit of battery. Let's say between 5 and 10% is what I'm going to aim for. Because at that point, you realistically should still be able to climb, but I think that's a good number to come down and land on it. All these dudes are done with their flying. I'll do some passes. Because they're probably thinking this hoodlum is an electric paramotor. See what they think it sounds like from the ground. I would assume he's landing or doing a touch and go. So smooth. That's a good trike pilot right there. Touch and go. Yep, he's going back up. I think I scared him. Sorry about that, buddy. I was just flying your wingtip. I got you. Don't you worry about me. I'll just be up here. There's a large degree, there's a large degree in skill difference on any pilot, but you can really tell on a trike when a trike pilot takes off and they just, hello. You wave back. I hope I'm not annoying you. I'm just flying formation with you because I'm bored. Trike pilots, when they take off and they just absolutely rip off the ground with no finesse, you know they don't have their flying dialed. But when they touch down super smooth and take off super smooth, like when he came into land, he just greased it on the tires. Didn't bounce it, didn't smack it. Same thing on the takeoff. Just took off ever so smoothly. That's how you know you're a dialed triker. Should we wingtip touch our right wingtip, or my right wingtip and your left now? It's like, why are you harassing me? Okay, I'll stop harassing you, Brett. Let's check our stats. We are 20 minutes and 20 seconds in. We're still rocking 30-something% at cruise, which is pretty good. I want to land, like I said, at 5 to 10%, and I'm thinking that's going to be at least a 30-minute flight. On this free ride 16, which is my daily driver. Like I said, these are all different for pilot weight and glider and all those things. But I'll have all my thoughts like laid out, and there's going to be a specific video of endurance testing on this thing, which will include this flight and my other 2 flights for range testing. But my thoughts are, let's start out with this. The claimed numbers are 40 to 60 minutes on the website. And I assume that's best case, obviously, but my personal best case, which was the free ride 16, I got 44, and I was a little disappointed because obviously you can go better best case. You can go on a really big ass glider and just float around and barely use any power. You can go even a step further and get a free flight paragliding wing, which is even more efficient. That's what those gliders are designed for. They're designed for efficiency. And that's, I think, what you're looking at for your best case to achieve an hour. It's like, get a big, lofty wing and fly cruise straight line, and you might be able to just exceed an hour. So my take on it was, that's a little extreme, because nobody is going to have much fun doing that. Flying a big Bodhi glider and doing no maneuvers at all. So it's really like an extreme best case scenario. Whereas my best case came in at 44, which was I was hoping to get better than that. But if I could hit a safe 30 minutes, landing with a reserve and flying kind of casually up and down, a little bit of slaloms here and there, I think that's not too bad. For a guy that's flying a 16 free ride and weighs about 170 pounds, I don't think that's too bad. It's not 40 to 60, but 30 safely on this glider, I think that's respectable. I'm gonna go bother him some more now that he landed. I swear, either I'm having like a weird pinched nerve in my arm or this throttle's shocking me. Or maybe it's a static electricity thing? I don't know. Maybe I'm just tripping. No, I swear, dude, it's shocking me. It's when I bring my arm down and my inner tricep touches the swing arm, it almost feels like it completes a circuit and then shocks my hand, which could be a weird nerve thing. Like, I've had weird electrical pinch seizure things not while flying, but I don't know. Okay, we're starting to get towards the end of this battery life, and I can feel that she's definitely not making full power anymore. But we still got a little juice in the tank. Where did the trike tandem go? I do not see him. Because it's starting to get darker, I definitely keep eyes on him. Pretty sure that's an airplane over there. That blinking light. He had a strobe on too. Where'd they head? Where'd he go? I'm blind. I don't know where he went. Let's do a battery check, because it's getting dark. We're at 25 minutes. Relative cruise power, I'm holding 19% on the battery. We'll keep flying a little more. We'll get it down below 10, and that'll be when we decide that we are going to make a safe landing with enough power to do like a couple go-arounds, which I think is realistic. Power definitely is lacking oomph at this point. Put that energy into a little climb. Yeah, at a climb we're holding 8%. So we're definitely nearing the end of this, and I can tell that's full power right there. And I can still climb, but it's not great. I had something I was going to say that was significant, but now I've forgotten. Oh, it was when I was trying to kill the battery on the Footdrag 14, and I was just flying hard, climbing, doing big slalom turns, and I was like, man, if there's ever a time that this thing would burst into flames, it would be now. And my speed control, which we should note as well, my speed control reached 176 Fahrenheit, which I forget what that was Celsius, but it's 54 Celsius right now on my casual flight. I think that's something interesting, because I know a lot of people are freaked out about battery fires. And I really don't know how probable it is, but at least it gives you a sense of how hot the components are running. The battery is really the main thing, that if it blew up, it would suck. If your speed control melts or your motor melts, I mean, they're going to take a lot of heat, but if they were to fail, you'd just glide in and it would be a motor failure. But if your freaking battery blew up, dude, that would suck. Okay. It looks like we are just about at the end of this flight. I'm going to come down in altitude so that I can get an actual cruise relative to the ground, and we're going to check our data. Okay, at cruise power, we are at 7%. We're at 28 minutes and 41 seconds. We're right at about what I was expecting. I wanted to end this flight around 5 to 10% on the battery. At this battery percentage, yeah, this is full power, and this is a really slow climb. So I'm going to set up my landing pattern right now, because this is what I would say is a realistic, leaving just enough gas in the tank to do a couple go-arounds, maybe one or two. But realistically, we're going to call it here. Boop. And 29:45. Let's disarm. She is disarmed.
Hell yeah, man.
That was 29 minutes, 50 seconds, and I landed on 7%. Not too bad. I saw you up in the air. I was like, he's got just a little bit left.
One more touch and go. One more.
It was so perfect.
Dude, that was my first ever wingtip touch.
Really? I was like, I hope I'm not making him uncomfortable.
I was like excited for it. I'm like, bro, he's gonna do it.
That's awesome. We got both of them.
And I got some pretty cool stuff to use.
Hell yeah. That was, it's at 8% right now. So that was my realistic, like, it would still climb if I had to do go around. That's what I would say, like, a realistic thing would be. Yeah, that's what I was talking to Paul about. Yeah. He, his max, like, hour-long duration testing, he did on, like, a bigger wing or a paragliding wing to get, like, yeah, max efficiency. Yeah, that's kind of, to get an hour, you would be really bored. But I think 30 minutes, and I was just flying, like, casually, that's not too bad either.